welcome to Inside the Huddle, the podcast that brings you the heart and soul of Rolla Bulldogs high school sports. All right, everyone. My fat fingers were not working. This is Inside the Huddle, brought to you by Romo Athletics and powered by our title sponsor, Phelps County Bank. Phelps County Bank, they're 100% employee owned. They're 100% community champions. They are bankers by day. You know what they are by night?
Bulldog fans.
Bulldog fans. There we go. We got it's finally coming, winding down. This is episode 65, and we are getting a hold of it. So today we are joined by assistant coach Mike Miller of our Bulldog team. Man, thanks for being here,
Thanks
Mike.
for having me. I appreciate it. Yeah.
Kind of cool. And again, I don't know what happened if Dad decided he wanted to take a break or whatever, but man, I'm glad to have Almighty Mike with me.
There was no heads up. It was just a text from you saying, "Hey, so you're on the ITH today?" So I'm like, "Okay, sounds good."
All right, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. So this is season 3, episode 65, and this is a Chrysler Taylor Coach Talk edition. So thanks to Jeremy Shelton for being our sponsor of the Coach Talk. Appreciate that. He doesn't just sponsor sports and have sons go through it. He's actually coaching in our SERV program. So again, big shout out to Jeremy out there and Taylor Chrysler. So Mike Miller. So you have been coaching here for how long now?
This is fourth year.
Fourth year, and again, so you came in with this group as freshmen and
Yep.
seniors, and here we are. And man, so what's it been like?
It's been great. Yeah, especially with these group of seniors. I've had them for all 4 years, and then even the group of seniors that I had my first year, group of seniors second year and third year. They've all been great kids. I've been really spoiled with that. But especially this group here, it's such a big group. I think in my previous 3 years, we would have 2 or 3, 4 maybe seniors a group. This group's got 9. Like it's a big group of seniors, and they're all great kids. And it's you see other teams that we play, and I don't know those kids, but I'm like, man, we're spoiled with our kids. They're good, and they're just good-hearted people that are fun to hang out, like bus rides, dinners afterwards, tournaments where you're staying in hotels and having to be around them for multiple days in a row. It's not taxing at all because they're good kids. They're enjoyable. I like it.
Yeah, they talk. And I mean, we know they talk. They make noises. There's some really bad ones. Like, oh my gosh, some are pretty annoying. But they have conversations whether you're a young kid or an older kid.
Yeah,
that's one of the things I've noticed with this group. And of course, we have a lot of them over the house a lot, and it's like they all have conversations. None of them are afraid to have a conversation about life and ask you questions, and so it's kind of a cool group.
They're very unique in that way, and they're all very mature, and it's a good thing.
Yeah, mature and immature at the same time. It is definitely I
agree.
Two sides of the same coin with that group. Holy cow. I won't even go there. So let's get into talking. It's been a while. So it's been, probably a month since we've, I think it has been exactly a month since we last kind of went over things. So a lot's gone on since then. We are sitting at 21-5 on the season. And that's not bad. Now it's another year. This is the third year in a row that it's the 21 season. Looking back at the record books, I'm pretty sure that is a record. I can't think of a time when we've had more than 3 years in a row.
Yeah.
We've had some sprinkled in periodically, even back in the final 4 run. Again, I don't know how many games they played back then too, so it's a little bit different, but I don't think there has been that. So that's kind of kudos to that for this group coming through. It's quite the accomplishment. But again, we have unfinished business.
Definitely. No, season's not over. I mean, the regular season's over, but postseason starts, and there are so many more goals that we set at the beginning of the season that we haven't even touched yet. And it's promising. It's looking good. We've set ourselves up. We've got the 1 seed in districts, and so we've done what we've set out to do so far. I think I said for the guys at the beginning of the year after we won the Republic tournament, I said that's 1 of 5.
Yeah.
Like we've got 5 tournaments to win this year. And we've got 5 trophies to get. That's 1 of 5. You got Republic, our tournament here at home, the St. James tournament, the district tournament, and then the state tournament. So that's 5 trophies to be holding up at the end of the year. And so far we're 3 for 3, and we'd love to go 5 for 5.
Oh, I hear you. I love that. I love that. So winding down, we had a we had a great schedule. I mean, you look at that Republic tournament where we just went through and wiped everybody out by an average of like 35 points a game,
Yeah.
and everyone's like, "Well, the tournament's down," and then you watch Liberty beat Oak Park,
Yeah.
and you're watching these teams, Park Hill South, do their thing, and it's like, wow, no, we were clicking pretty good.
Yeah.
I felt really good in the first part of the season, and then I don't want to say we kind of hit a lull, but some things just didn't seem quite the same. We
Yeah.
weren't quite as efficient. Our shots weren't falling as much. We didn't have the consistency. I'm a big person on the transition points. Our transition points kind of went down, and we had some games where we struggled a little bit. Then we had some losses,
Yeah.
and so you kind of play them in, and you look at them, and then we kind of wind out. And so after, I guess after the St. James tournament, was it? Then we went to DeSmet sometime around that
Yeah.
time
Yeah.
frame.
Yep.
And man, so DeSmets, they've been in top 2 or 3
Yeah.
Class
They're
6
the
all
real
season
deal.
long.
Yeah.
They're really good right now. They're sitting, I think, at 21-5. Battle lost to them at home, 17-8, which is a tough one. The back-to-back losses, which it's been a long time since we had that.
Yeah.
And then we go out and we kind of thump on West Plains and Waynesville, and then Principia. Holy cow! I mean,
We made them look really
yeah,
good.
we did. Oh my gosh, we made them look. I mean, they're a really good team, and we added to it.
Yes.
That was a 35-point beatdown, where we really did not come out and fight much. I think we did later on. We kind of got in there a little bit, but still, that was one that I would, it's a hard one to really be critical of because they are so good.
Yeah.
I just expect us to compete
Exactly.
a
Yep.
lot
Yep.
more than we did. Finished off with 3 big time wins. Borgia, Orchard Farm was a great win on that Saturday, and then Union. So let's go back and take a look at this a little bit. So the first 2 losses,
Mhm.
and not the first one, but the 2 in the stretch, DeSmet
Yep.
and Battle. DeSmet, we were down 23 in the third. Battle, we were down 25 going into the fourth quarter. And we battle back, get back to DeSmet, we get back to 7.
Mhm.
Battle, we get back to 4. So what was it about those 2 games where we started off so slow and we're even like in the first quarter we're even in both or
Yeah.
have the lead, we're right there,
Yeah.
and then we have that bad second and third quarter, and then we kind of we rally back on the fourth. What was it? What'd you learn from those games with the boys, and kind of adjustments that you've made from there?
The thing that we learned is that we can compete
Yeah.
with those tough skilled teams. I'm gonna go ahead and put Principia on a whole other.
Yeah,
They're on a whole other tier. But DeSmet, upper echelon as far as the state of Missouri goes. Battle, very very good. They got a 1 seed in Class 6
yeah,
as
yeah,
well. So they're a great team. One thing I learned is that the kids have heart. Going into the fourth quarter down 23, 25 points.
yeah,
There's not a whole lot of optimism there. And they showed grit. They showed a lot of just, they don't care what scores. They're going to go out there and
yeah,
fight.
yeah,
One thing we learned though is that we can't have those
yeah.
those quarters where we kind of sink in the middle. It's we played with both those teams in the first quarter, and then that second and third quarter, where did we go? Um, and it's good to have those types of games because you get you learn things from them, and so it's kind of an eye opener to our kids that like, hey, these are some really good teams. You can't have those. You can maybe have 2 or 3 minutes
Yeah.
in a game here and there, but you cannot have a quarter or 2 quarters
Yeah.
in a game and still expect to win.
Yeah.
Now we're a good enough team to where we can come back and make it a game and make it competitive, which is great. But you cannot have those moments, especially now postseason's coming
Yeah.
around. You cannot have an off night. You've got to go out there and get it. What you have earned all season, what you deserve.
Yeah.
Go out there and take it.
Yeah, and that brings up, the championship game in districts last year. Same thing. We come out, we're completely dominant the first quarter. We score 2 points in the second quarter, and that's the ball game.
Yeah.
We don't we get back. We get back with a chance to tie or win, whatever it was. We got back into it. But yeah, those are the things that, and again, I think it was a great point that showing the resiliency. And when it happened, that's not a bad spot. It wasn't like it was right before districts.
Yeah.
And then the Principia game was there. And then so now let's come into the Orchard Farm game because that was the other one that was out there. Orchard Farm was Class 4. They beat us last year in kind of a game that was just one of those Saturday game.
You know what I say to them beating us last year is dad gummit.
And that will get you a technical when that happens.
Yeah.
That
Coach
was
Miller knows all about dad gummit.
that was interesting. I had people reaching out to me during the game going, "What did he say? What just happened?"
Mhm.
And I'm like, "Well, I don't know, but it seems like it's kinda quick." And
Yeah.
then they're like, "Well, there's no way."
Yeah.
I've talked to other officials and other coaches, they're like, "There's no way."
Yeah.
And,
I had a front row seat.
yeah,
He said dadgummit. We've reviewed the film. He said dadgummit.
and
But yeah, last year was a heartbreaking loss to them. You know, it was a loss we shouldn't have had
yeah,
last year. But to once again last year a very good Orchard
yeah,
Farm
yeah,
team. And so yeah, this year whenever we saw them coming to our place this year, we that one was circled for us for
yeah.
sure.
And so we start off and we jump all over them. And they were at that point they were ranked I think fifth in Class 4
Mhm.
because again you got Vashon, you got Logan's Rogersville,
Yeah.
you have
Benton.
Blair Oaks above them,
Benton.
and Benton, St. Joe
Yeah.
Benton. Yeah, so it's a loaded up Class 4. And here they are. They're sitting at number 5. I think they had 3 losses coming in. They had one like the night before us, and
Yeah.
then when we beat them, but we started off, we jumped all over them. And then, man, they hit in that
Yeah.
second quarter. They hit really well, and we didn't.
Yeah.
And just like that, they kind of get back into it. They take the lead. So it was we had an 11-point lead, I think, and then they ended up with a 10-point lead.
Yeah.
So there was that 21-point swing in that process. And but man, we same thing. Except we didn't wait till the fourth quarter. We
Yeah.
chipped away the whole way,
Yeah.
right? We just kept going. We just kept getting back into it.
There was a moment in the second quarter where a lot of people that come and support, myself and my dad, the coach, there was a first that they hadn't seen before. And in the second quarter, I think I like during a timeout, I slapped the bench and stood up, and you just see me yelling, and they were like, "Man, we've never seen that." And I was like, and I said, in that moment, I didn't even know what I was yelling at or who I was yelling at or why I was yelling. I just knew that they needed to
Yeah,
be yelled at
yeah,
and to get jump started back because once again we were falling into this
yeah,
like thing that we had a history of
yeah,
of
yeah,
jumping out to a great start on a team where in the locker room before and we're like, guys, come out and bring it, let's go, jump on them early,
yeah,
let's put it away early.
yeah,
Well, we do that, but then it's like we get, okay, mission accomplished
yeah,
after the first quarter.
yeah,
And so yeah, we kind of have that lull. But yeah, we didn't wait till the fourth.
yeah.
We turned it back around and just fought, chipped away, and then that whole second half was a game.
Yeah, that was a heck of a game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the better games I think we had seen, and part of it, it's kind of reminded me of the Blair Oaks games.
Yeah.
Just the way the two teams battle. Little different matchup. I mean, it was just kind of an interesting process. Our man to man was really good.
Mm.
Sometimes we kind of struggle in that. The zone we see they found every opening in our zone,
Yeah.
and that normally that 3-2's been real solid for us, and they kind of seem to find everyone. But then we kind of just went back and forth, and in the end, man, we closed out the way we needed to close out.
Yeah.
And yeah, I thought that was a great win at a great time.
Yes, definitely. That was huge. I honestly, going into that game, I was like, I think our resume is good enough, win or lose against Orchard Farm, win or lose. I think our resume is good enough to get a 1 seed in districts because we were seeding it that game was on a Saturday. We were
Yeah.
seeding it that next day on a Sunday. Um, Win or lose, I think our resume is good enough to
Yeah.
get the 1 seed. I don't know if Marquette or Eureka or those other schools maybe felt that
Yeah.
way, but if we win, I'm like, there's no way.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way we don't solidify the 1 if we win
Yeah.
and beat Orchard Farm. If we lose, maybe they have some
Yeah.
things to go off of to sneak us down to a 2 or a 3 or a 4. But yeah, that was a big win at a big time, and I think that was kind of the sealing that 1 seed moment.
Yeah, that was we're at the home, and man, it was he got pretty excited. This first time. The other ones he hasn't been as excited about. He was talking about the year that we um it might have been last year where we got the 1 seed and Jeff City had a similar record and already beat us, and somehow we finagle in the 1 seed.
Yeah.
But I think everyone knew we were the better team.
Mhm.
But yeah, Ethan was pretty jacked. Woke up a little bit while I was sleeping. We had to kind of get on to him because he was celebrating. But yeah, so that's kind of a big deal in the Brown household,
Mhm.
and pretty excited about that
Yeah.
1 seed. And it also meant that we got to host
Yeah.
a game.
Yep.
So that's again kind of a good thing. So what from what we've done, and again, you talked about some of that consistency, having that grit doesn't want to happen. What's that thing we're looking at for this district run now? What's the mindset like? What is the topics? What is your focus with this group of kids?
It's from as soon as practice. We got in here on Monday after the win on Saturday, and okay, now it's officially postseason. Or no, got in here on a Wednesday after the Tuesday game. It was immediately like, it's been a long season. it's time to lock back in and focus again, because even though the season's gone on for months, it really starts right now. And you cannot check out for a little bit. You cannot get lazy for a little bit. Like, it starts now. You have to be engaged and locked in every second of practice. And the guys have done good at that. There's been a few times where we've had to call them out and say, hey, that it's district's time. We can't afford that right now. You have to stay locked in, because that's kind of been the Achilles heel was 2 or 3 quarters where we check out. Got to stay locked in. So that's been staying detail oriented and focused the entire time to play hard all the time.
Yeah, there was a interview done with, I can't remember which it was, with one of the, couple of top level coaches talking about what it means for playoff runs and the approach you take, and how it's, you can't focus on, losing the game. It's just maximizing what you do, locking in, and focus on what you do well, and stay on that. But when you get to the thing about, okay, if we don't win, if we don't do this, then that negativity comes in, and then becomes more of a preventive mindset versus, hey, let's achieve.
Yeah.
And I like that, because that's what this group needs. They need to lock in. Let's progress each day.
Yeah, and if they lock in,
Yeah,
I'll put them up against anybody. If they lock in and give us 4 quarters of hard-nosed, tough defense, and that's why I love the position we're at this with this team, because that little thing of being worried about losing the game, like, we've got a good enough, well-rounded team that one guy shouldn't really be worried. Like, hey, you go out there and do your thing and give effort. The rest of the team, if they're doing that too, we're good.
Yeah, that's one of the things I think this year, because we've had games where we have not shot the ball well from deep. We've had
For our standards.
for our standards. We had a 20 percentage 3-point night the other night with the win. And you're like, how did that happen?
Yeah.
And but they pick it up everywhere else.
Yeah.
We're not averaging a lot of turnovers. I mean, I don't know what we're averaging on the year, but it's, there's most of those games we're coming down, 6-7 turnovers is about it. We have the assists go up, all those other things. The rebounding has been better. And so we're limiting how many second chance points the other team has, even though we're not shooting well. Or we had the Union game the other night. We went 0 for 6, 0 for 8, 0 for 8 in one of those quarters, and we got 6 offensive rebounds on those 8 missed threes.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, that's how. Then that's 6 opportunities they don't have to go score.
Exactly.
So we kind of hang in it. But that's why I like that. Yeah, we have a good enough team with a lot of people around us. Just do what you can in as many places as you can, and then don't worry about it.
As long as our group as a whole collectively, as long as their main thing is just, I need to go out there and give it everything I got, effort wise, we'll be just fine, because all of our guys just giving their effort, they've got natural skills. Like, they've put in as many hours, as many years of work. The skills are there. You don't have to worry about that. You just control your effort, and the skills will come. You get involved in the game, your just natural muscle memory, your fallback, the skills will be there. So everybody doesn't need to be worrying about that. Oh my gosh, what if I don't do this? No, just go out there and play hard, give your effort, head down, just be gritty and go. We'll be fine.
Yeah, I think the ball movement has been much better here in the second part of the last third of the season. Let's put it that way. Early on, it was really good. The middle, we kind of got a little stagnant. We had kids kind of standing watching what's going to happen. And now you're seeing them all move again. The extra pass is happening. Assists are going up. We got backdoor cuts. We got all those little things happening. And it's that one more pass. And we had one here the other day, which was absolutely gorgeous. It didn't go in, didn't get 3, but it touched everybody.
Yeah.
And Ethan was even talking about this. I brought it up, and he did the same thing. He's like, it was absolutely perfect. Everybody did what they needed to do. One more, the defense never caught up, but we got the open look, and it just didn't fall.
Yeah.
But it's like everything else was great, and they were happy. They weren't like, dude, you didn't hit it. I mean, they're all like, yes, that's it. So I think you guys are doing a great job with them, because I know with his excitement, it's pretty good right now.
Yeah. Good.
Cool. Well, let's recognize some sponsors before we get in kind of the second half, start looking at that district competition. Let me see here. Got to go back to my group, make sure I got the all the stuff going on here. So Phelps County Bank, title sponsor. Again, go to mypcb.com. You can take a snap of that QR code right there, and you can talk to them. Taylor Chrysler, they are the Coach Talk sponsor. Again, appreciate Jeremy Shelton out there working with his team to make that happen. Home Sweet Mo Properties, they sponsor our Spotlight editions where we talk about our senior signings, where are they now, senior nights, all that kind of the fun stuff. In full bloom, Jackie Morozowitz, she does the backdrop rental, balloon decor, senior signing. She's been at done wedding for us. She's done a baby shower. So we've done absolutely everything with her. She does a great job. Appreciate that. Um, Season ticket, JP Maxwell. I know you're watching out there. Just checked in about coming to the game next week. Season ticket Tuesdays, 5 to 6 p.m. JP Maxwell does a great job talking about everything: Bulldogs, Miners, Cardinals,
Mhm.
Chiefs, Battlehawks. We'll talk a little bit of everything on there. Blues, even. I just kind of nod my head. I don't have a lot to say on that, but yeah, appreciate everybody out there. So let's take a look, Mike, about the district coming up. Okay, so we do have a home game, and look at that cool graphic right there.
Yeah.
So, as you mentioned earlier, Rolla is the #1 seed. So we'll take on Marquette. I mean, take on Northwest out
Yep.
of Cedar Hill
Yep.
on Tuesday, and we'll have the 7:30 p.m. slot.
Yes.
And we will be doing here in Raleigh. We're
Yep.
hosting,
Yep.
and that's the way it's set up. So Marquette, for whatever reason, didn't think they could handle all those games in a day.
Hmm.
So in the first round games, and Marquette's hosting both boys and girls on different days,
Okay. Yeah.
and so they split their bracket. So whatever side Marquette's on, they're hosting that side of the bracket. Then the highest seed on the other side is hosting. So we're the highest seed. Marquette is down there at the #2 seed. So they're going to be hosting their side of the bracket. We'll host our side of the bracket for the first round.
Correct.
Semifinals on. We're all at
All
Marquette.
Yeah.
So we'll take on Northwest Cedar Hill. Then in the 4 and 5 games, which are on our side of the bracket, which will be I think at 5:30, 5:45.
5 or 5:30.
5:30, 5:30 p.m. Lafayette, which is out of Wildwood. John Myers, former Rolla Bulldog. His dad was a professor at Missouri S&T. Back then it was UMR. When I was there, he was one of my professors. So know John a long time. John has a senior, and John is also on staff at Lafayette. And they'll be taking on Parkway West at the 5:30 p.m. So any of the old timers out there that knew Don and know John, make sure you come out and say hi to him. At Marquette on that same Tuesday at the early game will be Marquette versus Waynesville. So Waynesville's driving up there, taking on the host Marquette, and then Eureka, the 3 seed, will be taking on Parkway South. So let's talk a little bit what we know about Northwest. 5-11 on the season, and I don't know if that's all. That's all they show up in Michigan. So I assume they had more games than that.
Mhm.
We've had 3 teams we've played. We beat Fox Pacific in Waynesville. They lost to Fox Pacific in Waynesville. They lost to Fox pretty soundly, and and then we beat obviously Fox by like 40. So it's going to be an interesting game. But everything's game, and when it comes to
Yep.
playoff time, we've watched it before.
Yep.
Don't know that we've been part of them, but we've been given. We've had some games with the older boys on some of the district title runs that wow, in those first seeds, we almost went home.
Yeah.
And it's painful. So you got to, again, like you said, lock in, be focused.
Exactly.
So yeah, they're averaging about 50 a game, I think, maybe, and points against about 60 is at least what I was looking at on the stats on that. Where we like to get up there about 70 points a game, and we're giving up about 54, and Principia kind of skewed that number a little bit for us.
They skew a lot of numbers.
Oh, they do for a lot of teams, man. When they're what are they, our top 10 nationally, and they're as high as
4
third
last
or
I
4.
saw.
Yeah,
Ugh.
they're legit. So what's your thoughts about this? On the bracket. I mean, obviously, Marquette and Eureka are the two that I knew they were the ones that we thought maybe would be in play for that 1 seed.
Yeah.
Marquette's beat Staley. They beat Nixa. Now, to be fair, a lot of teams have beat Nixa here recently. Eureka's beat Marquette. Marquette beat Eureka. There's been a lot of different kind of all around. Eureka played Webster Groves to 3-1, whatever it was. Yeah, it was a tough one. Webster Groves has a tendency to be a little one-dimensional at times. Watched that Chaminade game the other night, and so it's kind of all over the place. So they played some tough schedules. Eureka's a big physical team, bunch of football players, play like football players.
Yeah.
Marquette skill, Brody Owen, all-state guard for them, athletic.
Yeah. I sat in, I got to sit in on the seating meeting where it was all kind of decided and voted on. And you never know. We're a newcomer into that, St. Louis area district, so you just never know what kind of talk might be going on behind closed doors as far as strategy going with some seating. So that's why, we didn't know. Knew how we thought it should be. Um and it seemed every coach was on the same, like there
Yeah,
was not a single, because they do the way that it's voted on is actually very fair, to where you can't really try and skew the
yeah,
numbers or cheat the system.
yeah,
Like it's a good way that they do it. And so every coach, I mean, literally, I think agreed on every single, like there was no like, oh, well, I think this one should be this spot. And I like it. I think it's the way that it should
yeah,
be. Obviously you could Marquette and Eureka,
yeah,
you could put either one at 2 or 3. They split with literally the exact same point differential, during the regular season. They both got impressive wins. They've both got some questionable losses. But I like it. I think it definitely, like I said earlier, I'll put our team up against anybody
yeah,
in the state when we're playing good. But I like it. I like the sense, like last year we were the one and we were hosting, which you can look at that as being like we got all the things are on our side.
yeah,
We got this. But there's also a lot of pressure
yeah,
with being the one and hosting.
yeah,
So I like the fact that we can be the one and show, let everybody know that we kind of hold that dominant one seed. But this time we get to go into a hostile
yeah,
environment, not our home gym, and we can kind of be, where we're getting a student section or two or some fans that are against this type of thing. We can go in there and we can be the ones that do the breaking hearts type of
yeah,
a thing. But I like it. I think whoever, Northwest is going to be, we got to make sure we play our game. If we play our game, I'm not too concerned. They've got some wins, they've got some losses to teams that we've beat. So, not really. If we play our game, we'll handle business. Whether it be Lafayette or Parkway West in that next matchup, I think that'll be a good game. And we get to, like you said, we host the top side of that bracket. So if anyone wants to come out and watch who will potentially be playing that second round, that'll be a good matchup. They
yeah,
played earlier in the season, and I think Lafayette won by a good amount, but it was a close game. Whenever I was watching the film, it was a close game, up until the end.
yeah,
They're both pretty solid. I think Lafayette is they can go about 8 or 9 deep and not really drop off a whole lot.
yeah.
And
They were in the Final Four last
they
year.
were in the Final Four, and so it like, and that does play a big
Yeah,
role. Like teams that have checked off that box, that have done it, that have made it, that they're like, oh well, we did it last year. Why
yeah,
can't we do it this year?
exactly.
There's a lot of stuff that goes into that. And I think I feel so safe about our guys with us. We're being seniors,
Mhm.
and we were close last year, and we kind of have that bad taste in our mouth to where it's like we're seniors. Let's step up. Let's not let that happen
Yeah,
again this
yeah,
year. So I feel good about it. I hope we get to see Marquette or Eureka in the finals because I think that'll be a good test, and then we'll take them on from there.
yeah. I like it. I like where we're at. I like the good spot on it. Yeah, it's a good position. I know it's like I said, we always talk about with the Brown family. There's always the bragging rights, and so Trey's got his three DCs as he calls them.
Hmm.
Bit played in 4. Zach has 1, played in 2. Ethan's played in 1 and still missing 1. So
Yeah.
that's one of the things he's got. He has the rest of the bragging rights and everything else. So that's
I
the
would
he's not to get.
love Ethan. You go ahead and get yours this
Yeah,
year.
yeah, might
Like
as well. That's
might as well. I would love that.
Ty Zach, and then he at least only Trey can bug you then.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Mike, hey, listen. So we tell us. So this has been 4 years for you. So chances. So you're probably not going to be coming back after this
No,
year, right?
there's no probably, but unless some crazy stuff happens, I'm done. I've announced it to the guys a week ago or something. Said, hey, it's been fun. I appreciate you guys letting me coach you, and to all the parents out there, I appreciate letting me coach your kids. But my time has come. It's been fun. The main reason to come back here was to do it with my dad
Yeah,
before he retired.
yeah,
And who knows how much longer,
yeah.
because I'm done. I promise you that does not mean that he's done. Who knows how much longer he'll go. But this coach Miller is retiring after this year. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So you do. So we'll get Mike the caddy. Mike,
Yeah.
you got over 14,000 followers
Yeah.
on Instagram, right?
Yeah.
Holy
Something
cow!
crazy.
So is that the only thing you post on, is it Instagram, or you do
Yeah,
stuff
I
on?
don't. People tell me to try and do TikTok, and I've never put in enough
Yeah.
effort. I didn't even put in the effort to do the Instagram thing. Just was a by happen chance, like luck thing that just kind of took off. And then I had a lot of interest, like with comments and DMs of people just being super interested in
Yeah.
what I do as a caddy, and people basically just be like, I had no idea you like that was a thing,
Yeah.
or just being of course like, tell me about it.
Yeah.
I maybe want to do that one day. And so I saw the interest in it. So I was like, oh, well, this is nice having some people asking me about it. So I just kind of tried a little
Yeah.
harder at that, and it's just continued to go and go and take off. And that's one of the main reasons too as to why this is the last year
Yeah.
for me, is just because there's a big opportunity with doing that I'm missing out on every winter,
Yeah.
taking the winters off to do this. And so I told Dad, Coach Miller, and I told the team, I was like, I'm done after this year. I'm gonna go do that. So
Cool, cool. So go Mike the Caddy on Instagram. You can search it up there, find him if you're part of Instagram, follow him. Cool stuff. It's one of the things that always pop up when the family all gets back together. The boys come, over the house for dinner or something like, oh, did you see that one about Mike did on this? It's like that. And it's like, different things going on.
yeah,
So they're all kind of following it
nice,
too. So that's
nice,
kind of
good,
fun. Yeah.
good.
So what's your favorite coaching memory here in the last 4 years?
Uh, Favorite one, honestly, probably I don't was it my second year? It had to have been my second year. It wasn't last year. That Central game here at
Yeah.
home,
Yeah.
double overtime, 104 to 102. Down, we started off down 17 to nothing or
17 to
something,
nothing. Yeah.
and came back and clawed
Down
and
18 in the third, I think.
yeah, and came back, won, and then that team later went on to play in the state title game for
Yeah. Because the state title game or
or
Final
for the
Four at
for the
least.
Final Four
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
least. And that was the fans here were nuts that
Yeah.
night, because that was a big matchup
Yeah.
in and of itself. Whenever
Yeah.
Central came here to play us, we were a big time Class 5 school, with a good record. They were a big time school in Class 5 or Class 6.
Class
I don't
six. They were
remember,
class
Class
six.
6.
Yeah.
And so the fans were unbelievable.
And we had
And
because it was a snow day, so school was canceled, and we had it that night. So every game around the area was
yes,
canceled,
yeah, 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 yeah.
so they all came here.
Yes, so we had fans from all
Yeah.
over the
Oh
place
yeah.
that were just not Rolla fans,
Yeah.
but just fans of basketball that
Basketball.
were like, "Oh, well, everything else is canceled. Rolla and Central's playing. Let's
Yeah.
go watch it." And I mean, both, the upper mezzanine was
Yeah.
mostly full, and what a game! And to be, courtside for that, and in that moment, Ethan was cramping on the sidelines.
Oh my god.
We were feeding him pickle juice and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
The hand salt his
Yeah,
mouth.
yeah. So just all over that. I mean, I'm sure there's tons of. I feel bad. There's probably tons of memories that I've enjoyed
Yeah.
over the 4 years, but that's one that for sure sticks out. But hopefully that moment gets topped this year.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
I hope so as
district
well.
championship will top that.
I hope so as well. I think it's been a lot of fun. That's a good one. Um, Coach, hey, so again, go to Coach Mike Miller on Instagram, Mike the Caddy. Mike, appreciate it, man. We had a long history
Oh yeah,
together.
yeah.
I was looking for some other pictures of there, and they might be on the thumbnail that goes out when you go back and see it.
Okay,
They're not bad,
okay.
but I mean, you played over at S&T, you played ball here for your dad here back in high school. Went to his first district title
Mhm.
game
Yeah,
your senior year.
yeah.
Fell to Rockbridge, who went did they?
We won our district, and then we played Rockbridge in the sectional. That I think they ended up getting.
I can't remember how far they
I don't
went. They
remember if
just
they went to the final, because it was different back in those
yeah,
years where after you win districts, you still had to win two
yeah,
more
yeah,
just to get to the final
yeah.
four. I think they fell to Nick's,
That's what I was wondering about too. Yeah,
because they had like Cam Bundy and Ozarks or Springfield Central's current head coach,
yeah, yeah.
was on that Nixa team back whenever I played. But yeah, I mean, a tough rock. I mean, we were,
They had size, they had guards, they had
they
yeah,
had about a 9-10 man rotation, and we were a lot like this team,
yeah,
a
yeah.
lot less skilled than this senior team. But we were senior heavy and had about a smaller rotation of guys versus a Rockbridge that's just 9 to 10 guy
Yeah, yeah,
rotation. And we hung with them for 3 quarters,
yeah,
which
yeah.
was impressive enough.
Yeah, it
But
was right
yeah,
there going to the
yeah,
fourth quarter.
yep. In that fourth quarter,
Just
we were gassed.
ran out of gas.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I remember that because I was at S&T.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
that was a great
yeah,
turnout. That was one of the biggest. Rolla basketball was kind of on the up and up at that time, or starting to kind of become a thing. And that was the first time I remember, whenever we go down to the locker room, coach talks to us, and then you come out of the
yeah,
tunnel and come out on the court for the first time. And that was the first time, like, I kind of like you kind of take a big breath, because you come out and you see stands that are
yeah,
filled, and then you hear a roar
Yeah,
for you.
yeah, yeah,
And these guys are spoiled now because they hear that every night with
yeah,
all
yeah,
the
yeah.
great crowds that we have now. But yeah, that was at S&T, and it was a packed out house. It was great.
Well, you bring that before we go. You bring that up. Let's take a look at at the Lady Bulldogs game last night. This was the student section,
Yes.
loaded up with some basketball players. They were excited. It was USA theme night. The cheer coach over there, she's all excited. She dresses up in costumes for
Mhm.
everything. It was Hawaiian night on Monday night, and she was in her Hawaiian outfit too. They've been getting after it. The basketball team there kind of cheering on the Lady Bulldogs,
Yeah.
and that's what you want to see.
Oh, love it.
That's what it's all about, is
Yeah.
having that, connection and just being there with everyone. So that's cool. Really, really appreciate all of that. And Lori Lunsford, great job on that photo there. All right, well, Mike, hey, thanks a lot, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Uh, Best of luck, and you'll be back after the season. You'll be going to Wisconsin again.
Yeah,
Is
yeah,
that where
yeah.
you're at
Yep. The
now?
bulk. I'll go to Indy for a few weeks, kind of as soon as basketball's over before whistling starts. But then for the bulk of my, late April to early October, I'll be up in Wisconsin. Yeah.
Wisconsin. All right. So if anyone goes up there golfing, get hold of
Yeah. Let me know.
Mike. He'll help you out. All
Yeah.
right. So for Coach Mike Miller, I'm Tom Brown. I want to give a big shout out to Phelps County Bank and Taylor Chrysler for being sponsors of the Coach Talk and of Inside the Huddle in general. But again, thanks a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of great memories, and let's finish off strong.
Yeah. Let's do it.
All right. So for Coach Miller, I'm Tom Brown from Inside the Huddle, the heart of the game. We'll see you next time.